Yeah, what's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing. So, let's talk about this one. I'm going to talk about the Dubois versus Anthony Joshua face-off, and yeah, let's look into it. So, first of all, let's talk about the controversial part, which was the part where, let's call it just the almost fight part. So, that part started where I want to say it started towards the end of the face-off, which is where Daniel Dubois was kind of getting, he was getting a little bit frustrated in terms of the talking. He's not much of a talker. Neither one of these guys are. And he was like, let Eddie talk, let AJ talk. I just want to fight. Like he sort of couldn't be bothered with the whole thing. So that happened. He said that, and Ade had to say, "Look, we've got a few more minutes to go," and fair enough, that went on. And then the part where it got more serious was where Anthony Joshua was asked a question. Look, you've been here, blah blah blah. Does it excite you? You went, lift off for AJ was coined by Adam Smith when you beat Klitschko at Wembley Stadium. You ready to go back? And Joshua was saying, honestly speaking, regardless, other than the fact that it's him and etc., I just want to fight. I'm just ready to fight. And then Daniel Dubois said in a cheeky way, he said, yeah, let's go, in a nice, calm way. And you could tell that Dubois, of the two of them, Dubois was more sort of jovial and more sort of jokey about the whole thing. He wasn't looking too sort of serious. He was like, you know. And Frank Warren kind of, I don't know whether he intended to egg on Daniel Dubois or not, but he said something that kind of egged it on by him saying, Dubois says, let's go. Warren then says, yeah, but let's wait until the 21st. And then Ade goes, yeah, not with me in the middle. You're not doing this with me in the middle. And then that's when Dubois said, yeah, if he wants to swing go, we can go now. If he wants to swing go, we can go now. And then it led to AJ sort of his energy levels going up and saying, nah, don't disrespect me. Relax. I'll smash this effing chair over your head and rear. And he got vexed and was saying, nah, I warned this little boy, I'll mash the chair. And the one goes, what? You can't intimidate me. You can't intimidate me. Let's go. You can't intimidate me. Who do you think you are? It was quite funny to watch because Dubois is not, he's not really a talker or anything. He's not really some aggressive guy. It doesn't come across that way. It comes across mild-mannered, quiet, almost childlike in a way. So that was quite funny. And, Joshua threatening him with the chair and everything. But Joshua, you could tell he was still trying to keep himself under control. And, that's what it was really. And then in the end, Dubois sort of shut his mouth in the end. And, Joshua goes on to say, yeah, listen, we had a nice face-off now. Yeah, we had a nice media day. Yeah, don't intimidate. Don't come around telling me you're gonna do this and that. You ain't gonna do nothing. Rare. And he just kind of little boy Dubois in the end because Dubois shut his mouth and Joshua said, yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing. Don't come up here pretending you're gonna do this and that and the other. You ain't gonna do nothing. That's the bottom line. And Joshua basically just squashed the issue. He kind of talked to him like a little brother. Like if you're a big brother and your little brother's running his mouth, you just kind of shut him down. And that's kind of what AJ didn't done in the end, because you watch the face off, you'll see the end, and that's what it is. It's just AJ saying, yo, be quiet, relax. You ain't gonna do nothing. I don't take the disrespect lightly, blah blah blah. And that's how it kind of ended. In terms of other things that I picked up from it, obviously the start of it was more positive. Frank Warren speaking about youth will prevail. He mentioned Dubois is 26, asking AJ, what are you, 35? AJ goes, no, I'm 24. Then he goes, yeah, I'm 34. So Warren was, they were trying to play little, taking little pokes and shots at AJ there, Dubois and Warren. And there were times where it was quite funny because they're looking at each other, Warren and Dubois, and sort of smiling as they made their comments. Warren made a point about the fighters needing to go to plan B. He said that at some point this might be a battle of the jabs, and one of these guys is going to need to go to plan B. It's going to be about who's going to get dominated, and it's going to be about which fighter makes the adjustments in the fight. And I think, yeah, that could be true. It is, because if Joshua's on top and Dubois is able to adjust, then he could win. So anyway, and Eddie Hearn, for his part, he spoke up for AJ after Warren spoke, and his whole thing was, again, trying to sort of little boy Dubois by saying, listen, AJ's been to Wembley several times before. He's experienced Wembley, he's experienced the crowd, he's experienced the occasion against guys like Vladimir Klitschko, and sort of implying that, look, AJ's been here before, this is home. When AJ goes in the ring at Wembley, this is his home, this is where he's used to, this is where he feels comfortable, which is basically implying that Dubois, this is not the case for him. He's not been to this stage, he's not been on the same level as AJ in the same big fights as AJ. So, which is true. This is the biggest stage Dubois is going to have been on. And capacity-wise, although AJ's been and sold out, I think, over 90,000 before, this is going to be 96,000, of which I'm going to be one of them. Thank God for that. I'm looking forward. So, he said that, also Hearn said that this is the worst time for anyone to fight Joshua. He said that Anthony Joshua, he's on fire now. He mentioned that, the amount of right hands that Dubois was taking off of Hrgovic, and everyone that watched that fight, myself included, you included if you watched it, saw that Hrgovic was just teeing off on Daniel Dubois with right hand after right hand after right hand. But Dubois, credit to him, showed a tremendous chin and tremendous toughness and tremendous resilience to eat all those right hands, come back, land his own bombs, and take Hrgovic out. But Hearn suggested that, listen, all them right hands you were eaten by Filip Hrgovic, AJ only needs half a chance. He only needs to land one right hand bomb on you and you'll be all over the place. Suggesting that, look, if you let Hrgovic tag you all them times, you let Joshua do anywhere near that amount of work, anywhere near that amount of right hands, just one or two, and it's all over for you. So he made that suggestion. As I said, he said it's all over. You give AJ that sort of opportunity, it's all over. And, I'm sure if your team Dubois, Don Charles and that, they'll be addressing that in the gym. They'll be making sure that they're not making those mistakes again. Frank Warren even said that he was very frustrated watching from ringside how Dubois was just eating all these right hands. He said he was very frustrated. Another thing Warren said was that in the beginning, very positive about Daniel Dubois, but towards the end of the interview, towards the mid part of it, he said that I've never questioned Dubois' fighting ability, but it's all up here in the head. And some people have taken that as disrespect from Frank Warren, that he's disrespecting him. But for me, I take it as kind of an observation. It's something where I don't think he'd be trying to downplay Dubois. I think he's more trying to motivate Dubois that, listen, you've got the tools, you've got the attributes, as Warren mentioned several times. He can jab, he can move, he's fast, he's powerful, and it's all upstairs. The battle is mental. And I think, for me, that's just a way of him trying to motivate Dubois, but some say, yo, that's disrespect. Anyway, that's my opinion, is motivation thing. Warren, where this interview kind of turned and AJ came out of his shell more was when Usyk was mentioned, because Frank Warren said that Dubois gave Usyk his toughest fight, and you could see Anthony Joshua's hands went like this. His hands went over his face, and he was you could tell that kind of bothered him, because obviously he's lost twice to Usyk, and Usyk proved he's a better fighter. So that was very frustrating for Anthony Joshua, and you could tell. And, then you had Dubois asking Eddie Hearn, can AJ take those shots that I landed? Could he take them shots? And Eddie was like, yeah, he can take them. And then, the Dubois and Warren, Eddie brought up the sparring rumors that, what about those rumors where you guys, Dubois said that he knocked Joshua down or knocked him out in sparring, and Joshua was like, yeah, he said he lit me up, or he put my lights out, or whatever, what happened to that? And Dubois like, yeah, that's just sparring. And Warren goes, yeah, he was 17, it doesn't matter. Okay. So they were very sort of dismissive of that, but AJ and Hearn were like, no, you said it, stand on what you said. But that didn't go anywhere. Then it went on to talk about trainers, and AJ and Eddie Hearn, they criticized Frank Warren, and for saying, listen, Joshua came out and said, look, you criticized me with saying that the trainer can't make the fighter, and you were criticizing me for changing trainers, but I've searched far and wide. I've got a trainer I've clicked with, and now Daniel Dubois, he switched his trainer. He's now with Don Charles. And Eddie Hearn said, yeah, he's actually got three trainers. He's got Kieran, he's got Don Charles, and he's got his dad. So he's got three trainers, and yet you're criticizing us. You're criticizing Anthony Joshua for having loads of trainers. So they basically called out Warren on his hypocrisy, because Warren did criticize, and he's with a guy now who's got a different trainer, and they went back and forth about that. And one of the things was Joshua mentioned when they talked about sparring stories that, he said, look, a lot of people use my name for clout, but now Daniel's got to prove it in the ring. And, the funniest part of it was probably the Brazil part where, Dubois said, you have to be patient with me. I've just come back. I've just landed today. And Joshua goes, yeah, from Brazil, innit? You come back from Brazil, yeah. And he goes, exactly. And he goes, yeah, what you been doing out there? And training hard, which, everyone who knows of the Dubois story knows that, he's got his Brazilian queen and he's got his woman over there and things. So obviously people are thinking, one track mind, he's with his woman over there or whatever that is. So yeah, so that's just my thoughts on the face-off. Overall, it wasn't that great, but it was funny in parts and entertaining in parts. Let me know what you thought about the face-off between Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.